The North Korean defector whose escape went viral speaks out. This is the story of a former North Korean soldier, Chong Song, who escaped from his authoritarian country to reach the South Korean border in an attempted defection on the 13th of November 2017, despite being shot 5 times along the way by his fellow North Korean soldiers. This incredible escape to freedom was captured on camera and captivated the world. Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. According to South Korea, about 30,000 people have defected since the Korean War. The Demilitarized Zone, a 160-mile-long land area, has been in place since the Korean War ended in an armistice in 1953. North and South Korea are still technically at war, as the fighting has not officially ended in a peace treaty. In the past 3 years, 3,682 North Koreans have fled to South Korea, according to the Unification Ministry. About 1,000 people leave North Korea each year, fleeing a repressive state that has been the subject of numerous accusations of human rights violations. The majority of defectors tend to take routes through a third country, such as China and Thailand, which is also risky, but without the threat of gunfire from their colleagues in the Demilitarized Zone. The day of defection, a journey of no return, can be the most difficult time in a defector's life. There's no going back. Crossing the DMZ is dangerous. If spotted and arrested by the North Korean military, those who try to cross the DMZ will certainly be taken to a detention center for questioning. They could be tried and sentenced to long periods in labor camps. Mr. Song was born into a relatively wealthy military family. He joined the Army in 2010 and became an officer. He spent 8 years in the Army. The defection incident occurred in the Demilitarized Zone, one of the world's most fortified borders separating North and South Korea. At the time, Song was 24 years old. He said problems with his Army friends had prompted him to flee, but he declined to give further details. Surveillance cameras captured the moment Song drove through a military checkpoint in a green Jeep and ran towards the DMZ after crashing his vehicle, with members of his own unit chasing him. He crossed the zone at 3:15 p.m. Had he been caught, Song said he would have been sent to a concentration camp for political prisoners, or worse, executed by firing squad. Watching footage of his escape in 2017, he told reporters that because the situation was urgent, he was not thinking clearly while driving at a very fast speed. "I thought I was going to die lying there. I was extremely terrified," he said. The video shows Song running between 2 trees as several North Korean soldiers rushed to take up positions behind him and shoot. That day, he was not wearing a padded jacket. Despite the bullets, he kept running. He was shot twice in the shoulder, twice in the stomach, and once in the lung. It took a moment for the South Korean soldiers to crawl to him and drag him to safety. At that point, when he was rescued, he lost consciousness. Gopal Singh, an American doctor, was one of the 4 members of the military medevac crew that airlifted Song to a hospital in Suwon, South Korea. He was among those credited with saving his life. Singh thought Song would have died soon after being rescued. The doctors who operated on him said it was a miracle that he survived. They also found parasitic worms in his gut measuring up to 30 centimeters long, which could be due to poor food standards and hygiene in North Korea. "I'm really grateful to him, and I hope I get the chance to meet him. If I do, I want to thank him in person for everything," Song said. Song also hopes to visit the United States one day. In his first interview since defecting in 2017, Song told Japanese and South Korean media that he is a new person with a new name in South Korea, and that is one of the first things he remembers after his emergency surgery was seeing the South Korean flag. Song does not blame his former fellow North Korean soldiers who shot him 5 times as he ran towards the South Korean border in November of 2017. As a soldier and the son of a general, Song knew that his friends were legally allowed to shoot him if he tried to cross the border. In his first televised interview with a U.S. media outlet, NBC News, Song said the following, nearly 18 months after his dramatic escape. "I understand them because if I were in their shoes, I would have done the same thing. In their situation, I would have shot. It's not a question of friendship. If they don't shoot, they will be severely punished. If I were in their position, I would have shot myself too." Today, in the regime of Kim Jong-un, a politician and North Korea's supreme leader has been accused of some of the world's worst human rights abuses, controlling almost every aspect of public life and keeping tens of thousands of people in labor camps. A 2014 UN report said the crimes were similar to the cruelty carried out by the Nazis. Song said that the majority of young people in North Korea have no loyalty to Kim Jong-un. He also added that many of the shortages of foods and goods have led to a lack of trust in Kim Jong-un's leadership. According to Song, about 80% of the people his age do not trust Kim Jong-un. Now the question is, what happens when defectors arrive in South Korea? Initially, they go through a period of investigation and discussion with the intelligence services. Then they spend 3 months in a place called Hanawan, an educational resettlement center run by the South Korean government. There are also community centers that provide resources, helping the defectors get a mobile phone and bank account, as well as familiarizing themselves with their local community. After Hanawan, defectors are provided with accommodation. North Koreans who settle in South Korea also have a police officer to monitor them. Many defectors suffer extreme trauma after their escape but are unlikely to seek help or know where to find it. According to a survey of North Korean defectors in South Korea, about 15% admit to having suicidal thoughts, which is 10% more than the South Korean average. Most North Korean defectors choose to escape the communist regime's military service and flee to South Korea for a new life, usually to seek a better life with more freedom. Song was one of these brave men. For some, the escape may take less than an hour, while for others it may take several days. Song was one of the lucky ones to find his true freedom. He was living on $100 a month in North Korea. Now he lives in a small flat without his family, but with his freedom. Thanks for watching. See you soon.